come back to our sessions. Already there is some picture you see, as we have notified that our today's discussion is Aunt Jennifer's tigers. So don't be terrified, my boys and girls. Even some of the viewers might be, you will be surprised to know why the picture tigers over here. Of course, there is some meaningful meaning and symbolic meaning over here. This tiger pictures very suggestive here, as the poet has used here. And before we go into the details, please wait for the end and until further clarification of the details. I think it's very enjoyable, very interesting poem. If you please wait and listen, then I think you cannot get off without finishing it. I believe it, because this is very contemporary poet, feminist poem voicing the liberation or emancipation of women under the patriarchal situations or under the man-dominated society. This is the society where you, us, everybody should live together mutually based on love, affection and equity, liberty, equality. But our society in all the times cannot grant you all these basic needs and demands and desires. And even especially in the married life, you think of the women of our country, as well as this is the pictures depicted in the Western culture, but the picture, the happiness, the sorrows, all the same all over the world. And that is the universal appeal of this poem. So, my dear students, if I ask you one question before we begin, what does a tiger symbolize? I mean, what symbol can you gaze in your mind? You think about that, out of our love and passion, we call our cricket players tigers, and we rejoice the glory of the victory, roaring sound of the victory of our cricketers. So you think, what was the tiger symbolize? One by one you think, because this is very important. Tiger symbolizes, one by one, let me share. There is strength, mobility, kinetic energy, freedom, independence, beauty of nature, recklessness, fearlessness. Isn't? In what way you can say? But tiger is also a force of offensive power too, because this is ferocious too. This ferociousness is another quality in tiger. And writer has pointed out all the matters here, very one by one, very beautifully. But in this text, this tiger is not a real tiger. It is the art, it is the portrait, painted by a human being, especially a woman protagonist of this poem. Her name is, already you see the name, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. So the artist name is Aunt Jennifer. For the first time I would like to say artist, but later on you will see that how this artistic quality, how the identity of artist is exploited, hindered, oppressed by the dominance or dominating oppressive power of the domestic figure in the form of husband. So This is the thing you first, before we enter into the text, you should know this matter. So this is a contrast. Do you know that contrast? Contrast, you think, what is the opposite word of tiger? If I ask you one question, for example, for emancipation. So art is not only a media to give only the pleasure or to give only the entertainment, but through the art can provide you a great message. How? That here the art turns into an expression, a bold expression of separation. Here the art turns into a shelter, an escapism, an escapistic world where an oppressed, a person, a frustrated person can take shelter into, or can voice her inner unspoken word through the society so that they can come forward for the immediate solution of that problem. So art can be used as the media to express the masses. The students, so art for art's sake, not always. Art for man's sake. Art is the reflection of society. Literature is the reflection of society. So it's a kind of media through which the artist can express. And you know, the writing poetry, writing poem, or writing piece of poetry, everything is an art. And through the creation of art, the writer or the artist can express his or her visions and missions of life. So I have spoken a great introductions for you. I think, my dear viewers and my dear students, you have been able to understand what does the title mean, because I tried my best to show what actually the tiger symbolizes and tiger means here. And before that, let me go into the details. You see, dear boys, what is the poem and what we have done. I know that most of you may not have text with you, because due to the COVID-19, very rapidly you have switched on to your home without books, packages of books, pens. But I am sure that if you browse internet, you can have the text anywhere. But don't worry, I have managed everything for you, because think, this is a classroom at Government Bangla College, and you were before me and I am here with all the facilities. So this is the text you see, and you see how many words they are marked with the pen, because these are the very important. Because I am not only giving you the detailed explanation and description and discussion of the poem, but I would like to show how should you read a text. How should you read a text or a piece of poetry? First, select your poem and find out some of the keywords which are very important, and mark it and try to understand what does it mean. Here some of the words, can you say very close way? If I can give you the close. Aunt Jennifer, a name. She is the protagonist. She is the central figure. So aunt means, you know, that she is a married woman. She is a married woman. Perhaps the middle-aged or more than that. And you think of the binary opposition of contrasting words. If there is aunt, so of course there is an uncle, isn't? So uncle, wives is Aunt Jennifer. So this uncle is being portrayed in contrast to see how she is. There is no line over here, she is not appearing here, but through the description of the verse and the poems, gradually the uncle will appear with his original characteristics. How is that? That Aunt Jennifer's tigers, Aunt Jennifer is a very oppressive woman, very frustrated woman and dominated women under her husband, Mr. Uncle. For that timing we would like to address him Mr. Uncle. So Mr. Uncle is not a very good fellow-feeling and mutually dependable, lovable, faithful personality husband, not that, but totally the opposite one. Very dominant. And this male figure, try to understand, since this is a feminist poem, you know that the always it is a movement against the patriarchal society, male dominated society, because males are enjoying the more facilities, they are subsiding, they are oppressing, they are marginalizing the position of women, whatever it is, home or in office, anywhere. So it is a woman's voice to enjoy her equity or equality in the society, equal rights. So they are fighting for the equal rights in the society. So this against the gender discrimination, they are voicing this feminism. And that poem of this, the writer or the poet of this poem is a feminist. She is feminist and she is voicing in favor of the marginalized women so that they can enjoy their equity, the equal position as enjoyed by men beside her in the society. Okay? And before that, before we enter into the text, dear boys and girls, please say, sometimes you should comment whether you can understand or whether everything is alright. Sometimes you should write at least yes sir, or we can understand, we can see, so that I can see in the comment. Okay, so that it will inspire me that you are with me. But if you stop writing any comments, I will think that just in a empty field I am pushing something without, I am playing without any opponents. Okay, so please write some comments that you are with me and you can hear me, you can listen me, and it will make me feel that I am connected to you. The sum of the verse, you see, tigers, toppers, denizens, chivalric. You try to see, this is all marked, and I am giving, and fluttering, ivory, massive weight of uncle's wedding band. That is very important. Okay, always we can understand. Very nice. You have inspired me. That you get me. Very nice, and I feel encouraged again, dear boys. And some of the words try to understand. Wedding band, and then date. The last para, date. Terrified, prancing, proud, and unafraid. The last word, the last line. So these are the ways that you should go on. And now I go into the details. And before that, you see there is a picture of two tigers. You see, this is an art hanging on the wall of Aunt Jennifer's domestic life, because I have collected it from the internet for you, and this is, you see the pictures of two tigers. They are punching, they are in mobility, they are running, or they are fast forwarding in movement, I mean in action. They are not mobile, they are not motionless. So human mind, the Jennifer mind is very imaginative, as she is an artist, as well as she is oppressive, frustrated. So her inner voice, since physically she cannot protest against the dominance, oppression of her husband, so she took the shelter of art, her imagination, as a media to express her revolutions. So her revolutionary ideas or expression, or the expression of revolt is expressed through the force of these two dynamic tigers. So that's why it is very suggestive, as well as it is very symbolic. So boys, tiger, as the title shows, Aunt Jennifer's tigers. You know, it is her vision, it is her voice, it is her dream, it is her protest against the male dominated society. Okay, so it's clear for you. Now let's move into details. Yes, some of the you have used, can you tell me about the irony uses in this poem? Very nice, very good questions. That is whose voice also up in the poetry, Aunt Jennifer or the author? Yes, you know, author always creates a mouthpiece, author always creates a media, and that is Aunt Jennifer. Through Aunt Jennifer creation, the author is giving her voice, because she is a feminist and feminist activist, and her voice is created through the symbolic presentation and through Aunt. Clear? And now the irony is that the tiger is very dynamic, very bold, very ferocious, free, independent, but the owner of the tiger, the artist of the tiger, I mean Aunt Jennifer, is just the opposite. She is coward, she is passive, she is frustrated, she is timid, she is escapist, she is unheroic, and she is imprisoned. And the tigers, they are free to move in the green horizon, like the tigers of the Royal Bengal tigers in the Sundarban. Okay, so a great irony or the great contrast you see between the tiger and the Aunt Jennifer, I mean the art and the artist. Yes, frustrated was the reason. You know, the reason is already her rights, her equality, her basic rights, freedom, independence, and share of equal rights are denied in the family, are stopped by the dominance of her oppressive husband. Okay, so this is the reason behind that. So we are getting answers, but let me finish, my dear students. Don't be worried at all. I am ready to answer in all possible ways, but I think you have got the point. Come, this is the text I would like to say, and before I going into the text, some of the words I would like to say about the poet. You look, this is the poet Adina Rich, and she was born in May 16, 1929, and you must not forget this poem was written in 1951, and then she died very recently, 2012. And the second line, She is an American poet, essayist, and radical feminist. Already I have pointed out what is feminism and what is feminist, and advocating the rights of women. You look the third points, that is very important. Advocating the rights of women. Advocating means, who is raising voice in favor of the rights of the women, that women should share the equal rights in the society. There should not be any kind of discrimination, any kind of gender discrimination in the society. So that's why she is called feminist. And she is so famous that she won several awards for her contribution in the literature. Okay, and some of the words I would like to visit before you, because before you enter into the poem, you should know some of the words, and I have made the glossary of the words, that is prance, because the tigers are prancing, topaz, very brown, yellow, clear color of the garden, of the nature of the plants, of the green nature where the tigers are moving freely, denizens. And chivalric is very important, heroic, the knightly. I mean, the tigers, they don't get afraid of anybody else. Heroically presented they are. Like a gallant, like a hero, they are moving, undaunted or untamed by any force. You think of the irony of opposite. Aunt Jennifer she is not chivalric, okay, but she is thinking that if she were like the tigers, that it would have been better to voice for the equal rights. So tiger is a symbol for her voice against any kind of discrimination in the society. And wedding band, another word, wedding band, I mean during the marriage when the ring wears to the wife, and this is massive weight, and this is oppression, and according to the poet, so this ring is though apparently it is given to the wife out of love and affection, but actually this is a symbol of oppression, domination, mastery and authority that she has established over her wife. And she has, as soon as she enters into that family and as soon as she wears the wedding band, she has lost her identity of her own, and she has become the property, a material of that family, losing her identity, losing herself, losing her freedom. I would like to say, great poet, our country, Rabindranath Tagore of Hossain, that she amar সম্পত্তি, সে আমার সম্পত্তি নয়, সম্পদ, সে আমার সম্পদ, সম্পদ. So try to understand this সম্পদ and সম্পত্তি. So the writer is talking about, like Rabindranath, that the women as her own identity should be treated as an asset, resource or a wealth, gem to the family, but she has become an object, she has become an material, a property to be used, to be sold, to be bought by the whimsical treatment of the society, especially the male hands made in the society. So this is the wedding band she wears. Even through her death, she has to pay for that. She cannot be separated through this bondage of the wedding band. And fluttering pace, all the matters, these are the very important words. And they already have pointed out that the tigers and aren't this important. Now let's come back to the text and then we will discuss again. Okay, dear boys and girls. Your so many questions are coming. Why Aunt Jennifer is frustrated? What is the reason? Sir, can we tell me about irony uses in this poem? Yes, already I have talked the irony whatsoever. And now come the text. This is very important. Let me finish and then you will ask me questions later on. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. Bright topaz denizens in a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek, chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. This is the last final stanza, very important. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mustered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So beautiful is tragic but very artistic expression of the poet. Now, what does the first para sense? You see, as the river tigers move very freely, independently in the green nature. Okay, so this is the presentation, very visual picture, symbol of imagination. I mean, the poet is asking the attention of the imaginative vision of the readers so that they can visualize the picture of a very beautifully garden, very lively, green, colorful, and here the two natural or three tigers or the group of tigers, they are moving very independently according to their wish, and there is no one, nobody, no force to tame them, okay, to frustrate their movement. So very beautifully the portrait of the tigers created by. So you think the they means the tiger, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Last line is very important. They move, their movement is stepping in elegant, knightly, I mean heroic movement they are moving. They don't get afraid of, they carelessly, and it is certain that no one is to tame them. They are very, very confident of their power and of their freedom. Okay, and here is the contrast, here is the irony, because some of you have asked what is irony. Irony is apparently what is the opposite of the one thing is conveyed, but another, the opposite meaning is conveyed. Through the guise of one thing, another is meant. That is called the irony. So this movement, certainty, so that understand, chivalric, heroic. Aunt Jennifer is not chivalric, she is unheroic, she is timid. Certainty, but her life is full of uncertainty, not certainty. They can move the tigers freely, independently, but the Aunt Jennifer cannot move freely. She is having a very captive lady, imprisonment she has brought, like we the people now, we are living in prison due to the fear of the coronavirus. Okay, you think of the present condition, the same thing, we cannot move. So Aunt Jennifer is already cannot move, cannot express her voice or do her artistic presentations in her way due to the fear or bondage of her family life. I mean imprisoned family life. She is a captive lady. Okay, so very nicely you think of the comparison, how the comparison is made between the tiger and the owner, between the artist and the art, between the nature and our society is very beautifully portrayed through the contrast, because every literature is always made unless there is some irony, unless there is some contrast over the years, because through the presentation of one thing or association of one thing you can actually express another thing. Now the second stanza is very important. It is Aunt Jennifer's fingers. Now say fingers, I mean her artistic presentation, that she is an artist. She knows the embroidery, she knows with the ivory needle how to sew, how to paint, how to do domestic works. So her artistic and all as well as the domestic daily routine works are portrayed in this second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Now the ivory, you know, that is the made from the elephants, that is teeth. It's very costly material is made, and needle. She used to do that, but now due to the pressure, due to the routine life of the society, due to the loveless relationship in the society, due to unrecognitions paid by the unrecognition enjoyed by Aunt Jennifer in the family, she has become bored, tired, frustrated that her hands, fingers cannot move. Tirelessly she is doing everything. So it means that actually that our physical tension, physical inactivity is always due to the mental imprisonment. Okay, so if your mind is free, if your mind is lively, then actually it doesn't hamper the physical movement. So it is the impact of her tired mind and the tortured mind, how she is having during a long time in her marital life, she is describing here. And the third line is very important. The messy weight of uncle's wedding band, sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Already I have pointed out, as soon as a woman gets married, she is given a wedding band, I mean wedding ring, and how for romantic or presentation it apparently seems, but gradually it imprisons the wife in the family. These two lines portraying that matches that this wedding band actually is the responsible for forfeiting the identity of the wife or the woman as soon as she gets married, wears this wedding band. So this wedding band is a pressure, symbol of oppression, symbol of losing identity, okay, and at the same time becoming the property of that family. Now the last four lines is very important. When aunt is dead, you see, due to the torture, due to prolonged suffering in the family, in that family, Aunt Jennifer finally dies, like our Hoimonti. Okay, Hoimontir mrittyur jonno dayi ke? Amra jodi proshno kori, who is responsible for this death of Aunt Jennifer? So this is a very precise questions made by our poet, made by conscious citizen, and made by we the people that we have to think over. Those the conscious people of the society. Even you, the new generations, have to think for that. Because one day you will be the grown-up citizens. One day you will get married, everybody. You have to think that how you should behave, what you should do in your society, in your family life. Okay, and this is very good message, and also a very responsibility the poet has given to us to shoulder in future and to carry out, because though this is apparently a dream made by Aunt Jennifer made by the poet Edwin Rich, but it is our duty to implement that dream of the poet and the long felt frustrated desire of Aunt Jennifer, I mean a frustrated wife who has never enjoyed her freedom, who has never enjoyed the recognition of her artistic vision in her family. So this is very tragic but very symbolic in meaning. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie. You see, her terrified hands, very important. So terrified, it means the terror. So the family life presents her nothing but a terror. I mean her husband or her the situation where she lived during marital life provided not love, provided not shelter, not assurance, but only a terror, a tone of terror. Terrific hands, I mean she cannot forget that torture which she has undergone. It still rings with ordeal she was mastered by. I mean through her death even she cannot forget, she cannot lose that identity. Okay, though she dies, but she goes imprisoned. Though she dies, but she cannot declare herself to be free, that now today she is free. She cannot say. The tigers in the panel that she made, last two lines is important. The message of her freedom, the message of her escapism, where she is free and how she is free, she is taking, will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Aunt Jennifer is telling, yes, I will die, I am dying, but my creation, my tigers, as soon as the world will be here, they will move freely, independently, heroically, will go on prancing, they will move proud and unafraid. But the artist, I mean the owner of the tiger, the creator of that artist tiger, she is not proud, she is not unafraid. She will die, she will meet a tragic death, but her imaginative, her art will live forever, and she will live her dream and vision, her dream for emancipation will only resound, vibrate in the escapistic world of art. And then this is her consolation, that finally that I will live in my art, and my voice and my freedom and my suffering which I suffered will be portrayed everything through my pictures. I think my generations one day will understand, and it is up to that generation, viewers or the lovers of the art, they will come forward to understand the message and to know what to do. So this is how the poet ends his poem. My dear students, have you enjoyed the poem? Very enjoyed? Now give your comments. Yes, I can read out some of your poem. Very articulated presentation. Okay, welcome madam to our thank you, welcome madam has arrived. Thank you madam very much, all the way. So very nice that you have understood, and if you are happy, then I can be happy too. And let me show you some of the pictures, and then I will finish later on. You see the some, where is there some, because you know every poem there are some rhetoric devices are there. Try to understand what is simile, metaphor, irony, symbol, image. You should know this matter. What is alliteration? So I am giving you, because I think this slide will be used as your note. That's why I have made it, and I am just giving in my computer. You see alliteration, fingers fluttering, prancing, proud. I mean the repetition of the sound of P, repetition of sound of FF. Okay, weight of wedding band, repetition of W and W, these are called the alliterations, and you should know this. This is very important. And the metaphor, simile and metaphor, you know, this is very important. This ring ordeals, this wedding band is the metaphor, because it shows the meaning of a greater thing, the operations of the dominions, how it means artistically. So how the death would not free her as the wedding band, as a symbol of oppression, I have written down, and it will help you a lot. And then visual imagery, bright obvious already, yellow bride, green, and embroidery, and art, and this is irony. My dear students, you see what is irony is there, and you asked many times what is irony, and let me read out irony. It is ironical that Aunt Jennifer's creations, the tigers, will continue to pace and prance freely, while Aunt Jenny herself will remain terrified even after death, rinsed by the ordeals she was controlled by in her married life. And the symbol, wedding band itself is symbol, tiger itself is a symbol, ivory needle itself is a symbol. Okay, so all the matters are symbol, because without symbols, without the artistic presentation of irony, symbol, imagery, metaphor, personification, there cannot be a good artistic poem. So try to understand later on, even my lecture is over, you see, and just compare and associate in all possible ways what is poem, how a good poem is created by an artist, by a poet, because a poet is a great artist. And even though wedding, and now see, I have this wedding band, the pictures you see, wedding band, and now you see that tiger were already I pointed out. And the last line, I have come to the end of my presentation. The speaker imagines that the tigers will continue prancing after Aunt Jennifer's death, and thus Aunt Jennifer will be able to live on through her art. So Aunt Jennifer could not live in her married life, in her marital life, in the family given by her husband, given by this society. I mean, she is denied the expected life she was supposed to do, but the art cannot forfeit her that dream, and she will be immortalized in her art. Okay, like the sonnet of the Shakespeare, so long the people will read the sonnets that he and her friend, his friend Shakespeare is telling, that will be immortalized. So here, that though she is unrecognized, though she is denied, but I think her voice will be expressed, her separation will be expressed in the art, and she will be remembered in the art. And here's the immortality of the artist, where no uncle, where no figure can destroy her from that creations. So a woman can be physically tortured, subjugated, imprisoned, but her inner jill, inner spirit, that is undominated. Her creative faculty, creative minds are undominated. They cannot be dominated by any operations. They are totally free. Okay, and here is the success of the creative mind of an artist or the woman. So already Mother's Day is going on. So salute to all great mothers who suffered in our society, in our family, and we salute the mothers so that they can be recognized in our society, and we feel for that, and we should guarantee, we should ensure the society for the next generation, so that every mother, every sister, every girl can enjoy their right recognitions. So thank you very much, dear students. Thank you. See you tomorrow, and I think already is 8:20, and nearing already. I started 7:30. So another slide I'll finish, and then just we'll go. You see, this is the Aunt Jennifer symbolic figure. This is how she is frustrated, and how the wedding ring. This is the pictures. So you see the poem through the pictures. This is very important, because picture never lies. Picture always depicts more than your visualizations. So how she is frustrated, how this wedding band, how this fingers, and how the needle, and how that needle, how the tired fingers with the threads, ivory. Here is the ivory needle. Every pictures you think, and already her imagination of that visionary tiger is given through the pictures. And I think my presentation will cover everything for you, so that you can compare and associate each of the pictures, my words, my lectures, my presentation, my expression, and can understand the poem very, very easily. So dear boys, girls, and dear viewers, thank you very much